Hi, and welcome to Storytime Science at the Exploratorium. Today's episode is Glow, and the book that I'm going to read is The Golden Glow by Benjamin Flouw, written and illustrated by him. So this is a story about a fox who loves plants, and he's going to go in search of a very rare plant called the golden glow. Every evening, sitting in his armchair, Fox likes to leaf through old botany books, looking for the next new plant to add to his collection. What's this? A page with no picture? The golden glow is a plant from the well-hidden family. It is very rare and only grows high in the mountains. No specimen has ever been described. This sounds like a fabulously fascinating flower. Tomorrow I'm off to the mountain in search of it. Before bedtime, Fox gets his backpack ready, making sure not to forget a map, a snack, grape pate sandwiches, his favorite. I guess he's a vegan. A notebook, a pencil, a waterproof jacket, a warm sleeping bag, a hat with two little holes for his ears, a full water bottle, a flashlight, a compass, and a small tent. The sun isn't even up yet, but Fox is ready. He has a long day's walk ahead of him. With his trusty compass and map in hand, there's no danger that he'll get lost. The forest is quiet and peaceful first thing in the morning. Only a few birds are awake and chirping. Fox studies the plants and trees that line the path. They're all ones he's seen before. He knows the name of each tree he walks under. Here's a fir tree, there's an oak, this one's a beech tree, and that one's a spruce. Next is the ash tree, then the famous maple, and last is the sturdy larch. As he nears a riverbank, Fox catches sight of Bear, leisurely fishing for salmon. "Good morning, Bear. Maybe you can help me. I'm on the hunt for the golden glow, a fabulously fascinating flower. I don't know what it looks like, but I do know it's very rare. Every day I come to the river to fish, and every day I see the same flowers. Most of them are beautiful, but none of them are rare. You should talk to Marmot. She knows all the mountain's plants, but she isn't easy to find." Fox looks under slabs of rock, inside hollow stumps, and in old earthen burrows, but no Marmot. Where can she be hiding? It's almost noon, and Fox is hungry. He sits on a fallen log and pulls one of his grape pate sandwiches out of his backpack. A snout pokes out from the bush across the way, followed by two pointy ears. Its nostrils sniff the air for a whiff of the irresistible grape pate. Fox recognizes his cousin Wolf right away and invites him over to share his snack. "I have never seen the golden glow, Fox, but I do know where to find Marmot. As soon as I'm done with this delicious sandwich, I'll take you to her. I'm as hungry as a wolf. After a long trek through the forest, Fox and Wolf finally reach a large, steep clearing dotted with flowers of every color. No need for an encyclopedia here. Fox can name all of them. Anemones, purple saxifrage, violets, moss campion, veronica, mountain sorrel, forget-me-not, butterwort, and mountain avens. Placing a long blade of grass split down the middle onto his lips, Wolf sounds a shrill whistle. He's made a split whistle from a blade of grass. And Marmot pops out from behind a rock. The golden glow, yes, I have seen it. Beautiful, unforgettable, but rare. You have to climb right to the top, to the summit. Fox sets off again, leaving Wolf and Marmot behind. He walks quickly, excited to be so close to his goal at last. Little by little, billowing clouds fill the sky. Fox climbs so high that he finds himself stumbling through a dense fog. Suddenly, a strange shape looms into view. It's Mountain Goat, balanced on a boulder, reading a book. There's no point going any further, Fox. Nothing grows at that altitude. But if you're bound and determined, take this walking stick to help. Fox has already climbed a good portion of the mountain, but the hardest part is yet to come. First, there's foothill zone. Then 3,300 feet, mountain zone. Then 6,200 feet, subalpine zone. 8,200 feet, alpine zone. And 9,800 feet, snow zone. Even so, Fox doesn't get discouraged, and soon he's made his way out of the clouds to be greeted by the sun. But he finds not a single flower on the summit, nothing but rocks and snow. The day is fast drawing to a close. Fox has to hurry to set up camp before nightfall. Once he's pitched his tent and rolled out his sleeping bag, Fox sits himself down to watch the sunset. As he lays his walking stick on the ground, he feels something brush against his paw. Hidden under the snow is a fabulously fascinating flower. It must be the golden glow. Just as he reaches over to pick the flower, Fox changes his mind. This golden glow is more beautiful here on the mountaintop than it ever would be in a vase in his living room. He opens his backpack and pulls out his notebook and pencil. Then, studying the plant from every angle, he begins to draw. His pencil takes note of every detail: the stamen, the stem, the pistil, the petals, the sepals, the leaf. Back home the next day, he'll put all of his drawings into his botany book so that, in the evening, sitting in his armchair, he will never forget just how fabulously fascinating his golden glow is, high up on the mountaintop, right where it's supposed to be. Now it's time for our activity, and today we're going to be making a glowcopter. Okay, so the materials that you need, you might not have around the house, like I said, but they're pretty easy and they're pretty cheap. The first thing that you're going to need is this stuff called conductive fabric tape. All right, this is 1/8 inch wide, and it's really inexpensive. Every time I bought it, it's a roll of 65 feet for under $10. And this stuff works just like electrical wire. It will conduct the electricity so that our little light bulbs light up. The other thing that we're going to need are LEDs, or light emitting diodes. They come in these big bins like this, and again, like 1,000 of them cost less than 20 bucks. And they're very small. These are 3mm LED lights, so that they won't weigh down your gyrocopter. Then you're also going to need a watch battery. These you can just get at your hardware store, or you can get them online. This particular size is called a CR2032, but I think if you just ask for a watch battery, you can get one of these. They're little flat discs, and the top is positive and the bottom is negative. And you will also need a small binder clip. You don't want the really big binder clips, and you don't want the little super micro binder clips, but a small or a mini, that's a good size. And obviously you're going to need some paper. Some cardstock is really good. That's a little bit thicker than just regular paper. And I think that's the paper we used because we made gyrocopters in the Flying Things episode of Storytime Science. So we're just going to do a gyrocopter or a rotocopter. You can also find the rotocopter on the Exploratorium website. We're just going to add some electrical circuitry to it to give it little lights so that when it spins, it'll light up. This is an activity that was taught to me by a woman, Professor Ji Chi, and she's worked at the Exploratorium from time to time with our tinkering studio, and she also has this really cool company called Chibitronics, and she does all these kinds of paper circuitry activities. So here is my rotocopter or gyrocopter pattern that I've drawn on a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 inches long, so just the size of a sheet of paper or a piece of cardstock paper, and it's a little bit over 2 inches across, like here. And you can see I have drawn where the two propellers are going to be. I'm going to cut in the middle, not cut anything off, just cut in the middle for the two propellers. And then I've also drawn these little things on the side. I am going to cut those two pieces off so that it's skinnier on the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm cutting between the two propellers, not cutting anything off, but I've just got the two propellers like that. Now I'm going to cut this part off and that part off. So this way it's going to be skinnier at the bottom. When I made the gyrocopter or rotocopter during the Flying Things episode, I'm not sure if we just folded the bottom or if we actually cut parts off. You want to cut the parts off because it just helps with the design of making a glowcopter. So this is what your potential glowcopter looks like before we put the electrical circuitry on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw each of the two parts of the electrical circuit. First, by the way, I'm going to make a little fold at the bottom. That little fold at the bottom is going to be where your battery finally goes. And I'm going to draw the two halves of the circuit in two different colors so that you don't get confused. So this part of the circuit, I'm going to do it in green. And I drew a little, whoops, circle at the bottom there, right? It's kind of just above the fold on the paper. And now I'm going to draw with this green marker where this half of the circuit will be, and that's where we're going to lay our conductive fabric tape. So, to look at this really closely, I drew a line, again in green, for this half of the circuit from the bottom of that circle, and I went up that middle skinny part, and then I scooted over, and the whole circuit is going to be on the bottom and on only one propeller. So part of it is going to go there. Part of the circuit's going to go there. That's where we're going to lay the electrical tape. Now I'm going to draw the other part of the electrical circuit, and I'm going to do this in magenta to match my hair. Why not? And again, I draw a little circle. Just underneath the first circle that I drew in green. All right, now I'm going to do this one in magenta, and because I don't want the two halves of the circuit to overlap and short circuit each other out, I'm going to go around to the back. I will show you once I finish drawing. So I go around to the back and then up the back, but then I want to scoot it back over to the front, so I'm going to go around to the front, and I'll show you this again once I've finished drawing where this half of the circuit is going to be. Okay, putting my top back on my pen. So now we have this other half or other part of the circuit, and you can see the green went up. With this one, I don't want it to overlap or get in the way of the other half of the circuit, so I drew it off to the side. You're going to see when I put that conductive fabric tape on there, I am going to fold it around to the back. I'm going to go up the skinny part of the back, and then I want to scoot it up to the front. Whoops. And now it'll be folded over to the front again. Let me get my finger out of the way so you can see it. And then it goes up right next to, parallel with, the green line. Okay, now we're going to start adding the conductive fabric tape. So the conductive fabric tape, what's really cool about this is this conducts electricity on both the front and the back. Only the back is sticky, but it conducts electricity on the sticky side and on the non-sticky side. You don't want to pull the backing off all at once, because then the tape's going to get all raveled up and tangled up and you won't be able to use it. So as I lay it down on the lines that I've drawn, I'm going to slowly pull the backing off of it. And I'm going to go on the green line that I drew first. And I'll show you the very, very beginning of it again before I lay the whole thing out, because I want to make sure I go exactly on that line. And can you see that I started the conductive fabric tape, that's going to be your electrical wire, right there all the way at this edge of the circle. It's going to cross the whole circle. We're doing this because we want it to make good contact with the battery. Now I'm going to finish laying out the conductive fabric tape all the way to the top of the green line, this half of the circuit. And what's really cool about this tape, because it's conductive on both sides, you don't have to be absolutely perfect with it. I am going to curve around just a little bit and then curve it again to go all the way up the green line. And once again, I'll show you once I'm done. I'm going to get to the top and then cut that off. Okay, there we go, a little snip of the scissors. So, I started here again. This is my green line. This is the green half of my circuit. It goes up here, and then I didn't want to bother cutting it or All I did was I just kind of scooched the tape over a little bit, and then to go back up, I scooched it again. That does not affect the conductivity of the tape. It still will conduct electricity, even though it gets twisted or bent or turned a little bit. Now, I am going to do the same thing with the other part of the circuit. Let me take a new piece of tape. The hardest part of the tape is taking the backing off of it. So I got it started already. And again, I'm not going to pull this white backing off all at once because the tape will get all tangled up and it'll be useless. I am going to pull it off slowly as I lay it down. And once again, I will show you at each step. So there we go. I have once again started it way at the edge of the magenta circle. I'm not going to cut it. I am going to fold it over the back. So I just fold it over the back. Let me hold that up so you can see it a little bit better. I folded it over the back. Now I want the tape to go down or up. And I'm not going to bother cutting it. I'm just going to twist the tape a little bit as I turn it so it'll go up the back. And once again, I will show you. And I have to twist it again to go toward the front again. So there it is. We started at the front. We folded it over so you can see it on the back. I just twisted it to make that turn to start to go up. And I twisted it again to start to make that turn. And again, I don't tear anything off. I am just going to fold it around to the front. Not cutting it off. That's one continuous piece. And again, I'm going to set it down so I can finish pulling the backing off the tape and finish the electrical tape or the wire part of the circuit. And you want to make sure that the two halves are not that close together, because if one side of the circuit touches the other side, it might make a short circuit and your lights won't work. So let me just trim that, okay? So this is what the whole thing looks like, all right? So you have that one circuit going up one side and the other, one part of the circuit, and the other part of the circuit folding around to the back, going up, scooching over, and folding back around to the front, and then going up parallel. Those are the two halves of your circuit right now. Now, these little teeny LED lights, they do have a positive side and a negative side, as does the battery. But we don't have to worry about that quite yet. We are going to clip the battery in, all right? So here I have the battery. Let me pop it out, or maybe it won't really pop out. Oh, yes, it will. Perfect. So here is my little watch battery. It doesn't matter if the positive side is up or the negative side is up. It doesn't matter. We're just going to make a battery sandwich in between those two little circles that we drew. So here are the two little circles. I am going to put the battery right on the higher circle, the green circle, and I am going to fold the magenta circle on top. I don't know if you can see, but I've made like a little battery sandwich. So one side of the circuit is touching one side of the battery, and the other side of the circuit is touching the other side of the battery. Now I'm going to clip it in place. All right, let's get a nice red binder clip. I am just going to clip that into place. So there's the binder clip. That's holding the battery in place. Now it's time to place our lights. Because you usually, when you buy light emitting diodes, they come in a big box. You know, like I said, less than 20 bucks for 1,000 of these. So imagine all the things you can make with this many LEDs. Because the reds and the yellows are only 2 volts, and the clears, the blues, and the greens are 3 volts, the red and the yellow like to grab the electricity first. So if you have a red and a blue light, the electricity will never get to the blue light. Or a yellow and a green light, the electricity will never get to the green light. So you can mix reds and yellows or whites, blues, and greens. I'm going to mix reds and yellows. So I will start with, here's the little chart, by the way, that often comes with, certainly with the kinds of LEDs that I bought. It's kind of cool, just as a reference point. Now, we're really going to need a close-up for this. There are two little, like pins, or not pins like they're really sharp, they would hurt you, but like two little teeny wire legs that come out of the LED. Here is the light. And if you turn it upside down, you'll see those two little legs. One is positive and one is negative. We don't really care which one is which. When we place it, the battery's always there. If it lights up, that means it works. If it doesn't light up, it means we just need to flip it over. So these two little legs, I am going to pull them apart into a little bit of a V shape. Let me do this as a human. The two little wires are like this, and we're going to make them like that. One of those little legs on the lights is going to touch one side of this conductive fabric tape, and the other little leg will touch the other side. Let's see. It's not working. So that means we have to switch our positive and our negative. And all I'm going to do is take the little light and I'm going to flip it this way. So I just now have one leg touching the other conductive fabric tape side and the other leg touching the other. And let's see if it works now. It does. All right, so there it is. It's glowing. I don't know if you can get that little glow on camera. This is the glow episode after all. Now I'm going to cut two more little teeny pieces of conductive fabric tape, and I am going to tape that little side, the little leg, the little wire coming out of the little light. I'm going to tape it down on this side right over the tape that we already laid down, and then I will do the same on the other side. I'm going to now take another little piece of this tape and I'm going to cut some small little bits of it. I can go ahead and just cut this off. Whoops, the whole thing came off on my finger. Oh, that's maybe like 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut that into 2 pieces. And I am going to tape down those little legs of the LED on top of the tape that I already laid down, and I'm going to make sure that it's super, super tight. I want to make sure that this little light bulb is making really good contact. So there it is, 1. I'm going to add a couple more lights. I think 3 is a good amount of lights to add. So that one's all lit up. We know the battery's in place, it's working. Let's do the same now with, I have 2 yellow lights. I'll do this a little bit more quickly. Here's one of my yellow lights. There it is. Again, I'm going to go from this to this. And again, I'm just going to add 2 little pieces of tape to make sure that it's really held nice and tightly in place, and it makes a good connection between the little leg of the light and the conductive fabric tape that I already laid down. And I'm going to do this much faster now because I'm going to add a 3rd yellow light. All right, so there we have now 2 lights going. I'm going to add a 3rd light, and then I'm going to fold the propellers and we'll make it fly. All right, there's my other little yellow light. I'm just going to do it super fast. Okay, there we go. And no, and let's turn the light around to make sure it makes contact. And it does. and a little bit more of this tape, 2 little pieces. The little pieces that you want to lay on top of the little wire legs that come off of the LED lights should be, not even an inch long. They can be an inch long or 3/4 of an inch. And there we go. I'm pressing down really hard, and you can see that those little connector pieces of tape that I lay on top of the little legs are not like all over the place. They are just staying along the line of conductive fabric tape that I already laid down. Again, we don't want to short circuit anything. So we can't lay those little pieces of tape across because that would short circuit. That would mean the electricity didn't get all the way to the light bulbs and all the way to the battery. Now I'm going to fold this. This propeller with the lights on it should be folded this way so that the lights are sticking up. And the other propeller needs to go in the other direction so that it looks like a proper gyrocopter or rotocopter. Okay, I think we're ready to throw this. Again, the little battery and the little binder clip, they act as a nice weight to help gravity bring this little glowcopter down. Here is your glowcopter. You can either make one at home or you can come to the Exploratorium during the glow show and make one with me here at Storytime Science Live. That'll be every Saturday and Sunday. I will be doing it from Thanksgiving weekend all the way through the last weekend in January. Time for Poetry Corner. This is a poem I wrote myself, and if you've seen other episodes of Storytime, you know that I like to write poems. This poem is called You Glow. You have a certain glow, a light within that's bright, a glow that shines as strong as all the stars you see at night. Your glow means that you're clever and that your soul is kind. Your glow means that you're powerful in body and in mind. Your glow means that you're curious and also that you're smart. You love to ask good questions, not just learning things by heart. You have imagination. That also makes you glow. You share your happy thoughts and dreams with everyone you know. A glow can be electric or bioluminescent, but people glow when love and creativity are present. Remember, you're a shining star. You have that certain glow. Your light has all the colors of a beautiful rainbow.